good to go.
Let me at duel.
If you're ready, I'm good. It's my turn. Let's battle. How's this? Attack! I activate a continuous trap. Now, I attack you directly.
Yugioh, the Time Lord, attack.
I'll special summon a monster. Here goes. I activate Onslaught. This'll do. I'll special summon a monster. Now! Here comes a direct. This is bad. I end my turn.
What's up YouTube, this is MetallicTCG here, and today we are coming at a deck profile for Amazonas for April 2023. So recently I've been playing against a KC Cup with this deck, and I've actually been having a lot of fun with this deck. We recently actually got to see this deck being played on Twitch over about a week ago or 2 weeks ago as of this upload. And honestly, like, there was one specific card that made me really want to play this deck just because of how powerful it was. And that was Amazonas Onslaught. The moment I read this card, I instantly wanted to play the deck. And it turned out I actually had quite a bit of the cards already readily accessible. So I didn't really have to spend a lot of time to be able to actually get everything together for the deck. So we're going to be jumping into the deck and kind of going over how it works. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Comment down below your thoughts on Duel Links as a whole right now. And also, let me know your thoughts on the deck. I would definitely appreciate the feedback. So we're currently playing 3 copies of Amazonas Princess. Honestly, pretty much our best normal summon for the deck. If this card is normal or special, you can add an Amazonas spell or trap from your deck to your hand. And once this card declares an attack, you can send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon an Amazonas monster in defense position except for herself. This is fantastic and definitely the best normal summon of the deck. It allows you to get access to so many important cards such as your field spell, but mainly, of course, Amazonas Onslaught due to the absurd capabilities this card can do. So generally, if you're going to be using her effect upon attack declaration, you're usually going to want to summon out your Amazonas Queen. He is a level 6 monster, and Amazonas monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle, which is fantastic. The reason why this is amazing is because we are playing cards like Holy Guard. With the ability Holy Guard, you take no battle damage during your turn. So it could be a really great thing to get the full capabilities out of your Amazonas Onslaught trap card, to be able to just banish your opponent's cards without targeting them, and to be able to get in some good damage as well when we're using cards such as 3 copies of Amazonas Swordswoman. Amazonas Swordswoman is a really good card. Your opponent takes all battle damage that you would have taken from a battle involving this card. So essentially, you could just normal summon her, attack into a Blue Eyes. You're pretty much taking out 1,500 life points from your opponent. But of course, it is also a level 4, so it can help go into our rank 4 plays as well. but just also having a body on board like this is pretty good. And it can actually get up to 2k if you do bring it out with the Amazoness Onslaught, which we'll go over this card here momentarily. This is like the main reason why I want to play the deck. But 3 Swords Woman's pretty good. We're currently trying to play Amazoness Sage. So as you can tell with the deck, there's not a whole lot of back row removal besides some of the cards in our extra deck. So Amazoness Sage does 2 things. One, it provides another level 4 to be able to play for rank 4s or even just get another, link summoning. But also, when this card attacks, if it's still in the field, you can target a spell or on the field and destroy it on your opponent's side of the field. So when we're using this in conjunction with cards like Amazoness Queen and of course Holy Guard, we could just summon a monster, we could summon Sage, attack during the end of the battle phase, pop a back row on your opponent's side of the field. And of course, we're playing Amazoness Onslaught as well. We're going to get a lot more value and mileage out of this card than we normally would. We're playing 1 copy of Amazoness Baby Tiger. So I actually at first tried playing 2 because I thought the special summon from hand effect was so good, and it really is. However, I did not realize that while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon it as well whenever Amazoness is normal or special summoned. So that's kind of absurdly good. You can literally summon this card upon any normal special stuff from Amazoness. Like, you can even have this on board, tribute it, summon Amazoness Queen, then trigger this effect, and special summon it back, enabling a free tribute summon essentially. But this card is just really, really good in terms of getting out your links really quickly, and just also having a body on board. So again, cannot state, but this is actually a really good card. Baby Tiger is great. You only need 1 though, because oddly, this is never going to get banished. We're playing 1 copy of Amazoness Spy. Amazoness Spy is pretty good. It has a pseudo Blue Eyes alternative White Dragon special summon effect. You can reveal an Amazoness monster in your hand, special summon it. And when this card is destroyed by balance into the graveyard, you can take an Amazoness monster in your graveyard, either return it to your hand or shuffle into the deck. So it's pretty good just to be able to special summon itself and be able to go for a link play if you need to, or even go into our rank 3 plays with Amazoness Princess. However, the fact that it also does give you reoccurring of your value from your other Amazoness in your grave, putting it into your hand to summon it later on the next turn, or even be able to summon it back to the deck and be able to reuse it to be able to reuse our copy of Queen, that'd be pretty good. So would definitely recommend at least having 1 copy of Spy. We're playing 1 copy of Reinforcement of the Army. Again, we really want to get into cards like our Amazoness Princess ASAP, so having a copy of Rhoda just essentially means you're playing a 4th copy, because again, this is the best normal summon of the deck. We're playing 2 copies of Book of Moon. Book of Moon is really good. It acts for so many different things. It prevents your opponent from, synchro summoning, it can prevent them from Xyz summoning, it can prevent attacks. It can just do so much, so it's a great disruptor card. We're playing 1 copy of Amazoness Village. Honestly, I've been kind of torn going either to 2 copies of this or just keeping at 1. 1 has been fine right now. So all Amazoness monsters gain 200 attack points. Once per turn, when an Amazoness monster is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the GY, you can special summon an Amazoness monster from your deck with the level less than or equal to the monster in the graveyard. So it is really good just to be able to kind of flesh out and be able to special summon a replacement copy, whatever card gets destroyed, or something else. So you can always go for another copy of Princess, which will be able to give you another trigger to be able to search out for your Amazoness Onslaught. If Queen gets destroyed for whatever reason, you can pretty much summon any other Amazoness from the deck. So depending on the situation, it can be very good to have a floater. Now, here is one of the more controversial cards, but it has been proven to be quite well, especially in today's format. 1 copy of Fiendish Chain. So at first, I was very leery on playing this card. Still am a little bit. Just because with Duel Links, since we are playing with a 3x3 zone instead of the 5x5, we only have access to 3 spell and trap zones. So when we're playing cards like Amazoness Onslaught and using Fiendish Chain, that pretty much locks us out to only using 1 more spell or trap on our field. So for that point, you want to be careful when you do play this card. Obviously, you can switch it out with quite a bit of things. If you're lucky, you can always switch it out with another Book of Moon. You can always switch out with more back removal, or even Breakthrough Skill to get double usage of it as well. But Fiendish Chain has been proven pretty well in testing. I don't know if this is actually going to stay in the deck for too long. However, for now, it works. It works. 2 copies of Floodgate Trap Hole. This is actually absurdly good, honestly. In case we don't have cards such as our Amazoness Queen on board, but we do have an Amazoness Onslaught. If your opponent tries to overextend or go for something really big, we can Floodgate Trap Hole it, put it into face down defense position, and then during our turn, we can then activate our copy of Amazoness Onslaught. And since Holy Guard prevents us from taking damage during our turn, we can then just start swinging with all of our Amazonas monsters to banish them without taking any battle damage. So it's really good in that regard. Plus, again, great deterrent. We are then playing 3 copies of Amazonas Onslaught. Again, this is the card that essentially made me want to play this deck. Once per turn during the battle phase, you can special summon an Amazonas monster from your hand, and if you do, it gains 500 attack to the end of this turn, even if this card's leave the field. After damage calculation, if your Amazonas monster battled an opponent's monster while this card is already face up in your spell or trap zone, you can banish that opponent's monsters, and if this card is a field is sent to the graveyard and destroyed, you can special summon an Amazonas monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. So that's really, really good. The fact that if we're using this during our turn, we can attack and just banish our opponent's monsters without taking any battle damage is huge. The thing about this card that is just absurd is that it doesn't target, right? There have been so many examples where such many creatures have prevention from being targeted. But the fact that Amazonas Onslaught does not target, and it doesn't destroy it by battle or card effect, but banish it, it's very, very consistently able to pull off some really ridiculous board clearings, and a lot of monsters honestly just can't get around it. It's just that good. And the fact that it also can replace itself with an Amazonas monster when destroyed is pretty good. I mean, you can always bring out a copy of Princess to search out a copy of Onslaught itself. You bring back Queen to be able to special summon something for more battle protection, and be able to get, like, you know, your baby tiger. So this card is just absurdly good. For the extra deck, nothing too fancy. We're playing 1 Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon. You can make it with all your 4s, being the Swordswoman and the Sage. Again, detach 2 monsters from the Scar, target a face-up monster your opponent controls. Gains half the attack, and your opponent loses half the attack. Pretty solid, just like, you know, I'm going to try to, you know, attack with aggression. Abyss Dweller to be able to stop any of those trap-heavy reliant decks. Pretty solid right there. Number 47, Nightmare Shark. Again, with Duel Links, we're playing with 4,000 life points typically at the beginning. So being able to summon a monster that can just attack directly and take out 50% of your opponent's life points is pretty solid. We're then playing 1 copy of Never 70 Malevolent Sin. Pretty good generic rank 4. You can target a monster your opponent controls, banish until the next standby, and then if this card attacks, it gains 300, increase its rank by 3. Pretty solid, just for removal. Diamond Direwolf is just a very universal card that can be able to pitch off itself and destroy any other card on the field. We're then playing 1 Super Quantum Mech Beast Grand Pulse. Kind of like the same idea for Diamond Dire, but the benefit with Grand Pulse is that you don't have to worry about pitching itself off to destroy anything. You can destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls. And also the fact that it does have 2,800 defense is pretty, you know, decent in terms of protection in case you just want to stall. We're playing 1 copy of Wind Up Zen Mains. Zen Mains is alright. It's kind of like the idea that if we're going to be stalling, we might as well get some destruction or force our opponent to be able to use a lot of resources to remove this card. Again, there's probably plenty of other better cards you can play, but Zen Mains is fine. Honestly, you can even replace Zen Mains with something like Nightmare Unicorn, or pretty much just anything that might be better for you or more reliant. Even throw in Break Sword if you something. Like, there's a lot of great generics out there. We don't go too heavy into the extra deck during our duels anyway, but it is just good to have some, you know, additional stall. And then we're playing 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix. Again, one of the main issues with the main deck of this deck is that it doesn't have a lot of Dispel and Trap Destruction. So having a copy of Nightmare Phoenix is really good, where we can be able to pitch a card and destroy your opponent's back row. This is pretty good, in fact, especially if we were discarding a card like Amazonas Baby Tiger. It can be easily recurred and special summoned from the graveyard. And of course, you know, we have plenty of Amazonas we can also pitch and be able to get back with cards like Amazonas Onslaught. So discarding a card here for cost, especially if it's an Amazonas monster, not a big deal. But there you go. This is my take so far on Amazonas. So far, I do like it. If I did have to make any adjustments after our initial playtesting on stream at twitch.tv/Metallicaerox, again, I'm still kind of leery on the Fiendish Chain Edition. We might change it out for something else. Again, maybe consider using Breakthrough Skill, or maybe even a 3rd Book of Moon, because I guess we have 3 Book of Moons. Who knew? The 2 Amazonas Queen is also kind of sus as well. There have been a lot of situations where I wish I had a 3rd copy of Queen. I'm sorry, a 2nd copy of Queen. When we were testing it at 1 copy. Again, you can recur the copy of Amazonas Queen if you do, you know, ram your Amazonas Smite, get sent to the graveyard, add Queen back from your deck or to your hand. However, that just seems a little bit of work to be able to get a 2nd copy of this back into a playable order. And yeah, I mean, honestly, this card really hasn't done a lot of bricking. It can be really easy to sum out with cards like Amazon's Onslaught, or of course, like the Baby Tiger spam that we mentioned earlier. But so far, this is what we're working with. Amazon's Sage has been a hit or miss, honestly, so we're going to kind of see how that goes. I do plan on playing this deck more on stream and also just getting some more testing off stream as well. So I hope we will have an update here in the next, month or so. Not sure if we get any more of the fusion support that has been dropping recently in the TCG, but time will tell. Thank you for watching, everyone. I appreciate you. If you want to check out the duels online and also even have a chance to duel against us, we are live on stream, typically on Sundays with Yu-Gi-Oh! Or card game-based content over at Twitch. Thank you for watching, everyone. I appreciate you. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.